Hey, Lions Nation! We're back with another exclusive video bringing you all the latest news about our beloved Detroit Lions. Before we get started, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss anything about the team. Now, let's get into the news. Right from the opening snap, the Detroit Lions showed they weren't here to mess around. Jared Goff faced pressure on second down, but instead of folding, he fired it quickly to the right. Jahmyr Gibbs hauled it in, slipped a tackle at the 35, and just like that, he was flying. He tore up the sideline, burning defenders down the right side of the field. By the time he was finally brought down near the 36-yard line, the Lions had already lit the spark. Seconds left on the play clock, Goff keeps it calm, scans the middle, and rips a laser. Amon-Ra St. Brown, in full stride, snatches it, and he's gone. No hesitation, no chance for the defenders to close the gap. 10-5, touchdown. 27 yards on a rope, and Detroit jumps out to the lead in style. But they weren't done. The offense came back out, still in rhythm, and Goff went right back to work. Pocket held firm. He stepped up and delivered another dime, this time again to St. Brown. He crossed into Buccaneers territory, got knocked out near the 41, and continued carving up the secondary like it was practice. Tampa Bay tried to answer, but it wasn't happening. Mayfield dropped back on third down, looked downfield, pumped, and let it fly, but the pass never made it. McNeil got a paw on it, swatted it down. Incomplete. Drive stalled. The Lions' defense was already showing they came to dominate too. Then came one of the plays of the game. Goff handed it off to Gibbs, and, boom, he exploded. Shot out of a cannon down the right sideline, untouched. He hit that second gear, and no one even had a prayer of catching him. 78 yards. A blur in motion. Touchdown Detroit. It wasn't just a score, it was a gut punch. The Lions doubled their lead, and you could feel the momentum tilting hard. On the next Tampa possession, Mayfield felt the heat. The pocket started to collapse. He tried to escape left, but the Lions' pursuit was ferocious. Derrick Barnes crashed in, wrapped him up, and brought him down behind the line. Sacked and stuffed. And the crowd? Going absolutely wild. Mayfield tried again. This time, he managed a completion across the middle, but wait. The ball pops loose. It's on the turf. Scramble for possession, bodies flying everywhere. And coming out of the pile? Aiden Hutchinson with the recovery. Lions take over again. That defense just doesn't let up. It was a textbook punch-out, too. Robertson, beaten at first, never gave up on the play. He stuck with it, timed the punch like a veteran, and knocked the ball loose. That's high-level awareness. That's instincts. That's what makes a great secondary. Lions fans, loving every second of it. Now back in control, Goff didn't waste any time. He dumped it off to Gibbs with a convoy of blockers in front. Gibbs sliced through defenders like they weren't even there. 30, 25, jukes left, cuts back inside, and he's finally dragged down at the 5-yard line. That man was everywhere. Next play, Goff hands it right back to him. Gibbs powers forward, spins off contact, refuses to go down, and muscles his way into the end zone. Another touchdown. Detroit keeps piling it on. It's not just execution, it's pure effort. Later in the game, to put a cherry on top, Jake Bates lines up for a monster field goal, 58 yards. High snap, clean hold, and the kick is up. It's got the distance, and it sneaks over the bar. 3 more on the board. That's how you finish a drive and keep your foot on the gas. Tampa tried to find a spark. 4th down, deep in Detroit territory. Mayfield looks, throws for the corner, but no chance. Whiteside was all over it. Perfect coverage, swatted the ball away, and that was the dagger. Detroit wasn't just playing to win. They were playing like a team with something to prove. Offense, defense, special teams, every unit locked in, firing on all cylinders. And from the opening whistle to the final snap, it was one message loud and clear. These Lions are for real. Before we move on, take a second to drop a like and subscribe. That way, you'll stay up to date with every exclusive Lions update. And you'll even have a chance to win an official Detroit Lions jersey. Let's keep going. The Detroit Lions just sent a message to the entire league. Loud, clear, and unmistakable. They're not waiting to build a contender. They're building it now. And the latest piece of that puzzle? None other than BUDDA Baker, one of the most feared and respected safeties in the National Football League. That's right. BUDDA is headed to Detroit, and the moment he stepped into that locker room, everything changed. This move doesn't just strengthen a position group. It changes the identity of the defense. It injects leadership, fire, and an edge that can't be faked. Because when you bring in a guy like BUDDA, you're not just getting a Pro Bowl talent, you're getting a tone setter. A player whose presence alone makes wide receivers hesitate and quarterbacks second-guess their throws. A player who brings violence with control, speed with purpose, and energy with discipline. This isn't just a signing. It's a statement. Now let's talk about fit. Detroit's defense already had the makings of something special, an aggressive front line, physical linebackers, and young corners still growing into their potential. But what they lacked was that anchor on the back end. That veteran presence who sees the field like a quarterback and reacts like a missile. That guy who's been in the fire, who's made plays in the biggest moments, and who can mentor and guide the younger DBs while still flying around and making impact plays every week. BUDDA checks all those boxes and more. From his first day in Arizona, BUDDA was different. Undersized? Maybe. But nobody outworked him. Nobody hit harder for their weight class. And nobody played with more heart. Whether it was chasing down a screen pass on 3rd and long, blowing up a run on the edge, or closing downhill like a heat-seeking missile, BUDDA's motor never stopped. And now that energy is coming to Motown, let's not forget what this guy has done over his career. 6 Pro Bowl selections, multiple All-Pro nods, over 700 career tackles, and a reputation as one of the smartest, toughest, and most consistent defensive backs in the league. He's not just a guy who shows up on highlight reels. He's the one who creates them, and not just with big hits. With instincts, with film study, with leadership, and most of all, with the kind of respect that can't be bought. It has to be earned over time, play after play, year after year. And when you look at what the Lions are building, this move just makes too much sense. Aiden Hutchinson up front, disrupting everything. Jack Campbell flying to the ball. Kirby Joseph coming into his own. And now, BUDDA patrolling deep, ready to erase mistakes, set the tone, and lock down the back half. Opposing quarterbacks better get ready for a whole different level of pressure, not just from the pass rush, but from knowing that if they try something risky over the middle, number 3 is waiting. And the ripple effects are already showing. Teammates are fired up. Coaches are praising his immediate impact in film sessions and walkthroughs. You can feel the standard rise the second he steps on the field. It's no longer acceptable to jog a rep, to miss an assignment, or to take a play off. Not when BUDDA is watching. Not when he's leading. This isn't just a locker room upgrade. It's a cultural shift. The Lions have been fighting to build a new identity for years, and now they've got a player who embodies exactly what Dan Campbell has been preaching: toughness, accountability, and all-out effort every single snap. BUDDA doesn't take plays off. He doesn't take shortcuts. He's the kind of player who lifts the entire roster just by the way he works. And for the fans, this is the kind of move that gets people talking. It shows the front office is all in. It shows that the Lions aren't just trying to be competitive, they're trying to win championships. Because you don't go out and bring in a veteran like BUDDA unless you believe your window is now. And looking at this roster, that belief is starting to feel real. Can you imagine this defense with BUDDA calling out coverages, shifting the secondary into perfect position, and then flying downhill to blow up a screen or force a fumble? Can you picture the swagger he brings to the group, the trash talk that comes with it, and the way he backs it all up snap after snap? This is the kind of player you hate to face but love to have on your side. Training camp intensity just got dialed up. Preseason expectations just got higher. And every wide receiver and tight end on the Lions schedule just circled Detroit in red ink. Because now there's a new sheriff in the secondary, and his name is BUDDA. The Lions didn't just get better on paper. They got better in spirit, in attitude, and in identity. The back end of the defense is no longer a weakness. It's a weapon. And for a team that's already turning heads, this could be the final piece that puts them over the top. So buckle up, Detroit. BUDDA is in town, and he's bringing the pain, the passion, and the pride. The NFC just got a lot more dangerous. We bring you the latest Lions news every single day. So make sure you're subscribed, hit that like button, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a thing. And of course, drop a comment below with your thoughts on today's news. Your voice makes a difference for Lions Nation. See you in the next video.